Hello and welcome to some Hardline gameplay. This time it's Heist, we're on defense and it's on the map High Tension, which is the only map I think you can play at the moment on the beta. Now as you can see, if you look at the bottom right, there's a bit of a change to the way rounds start. Players need to ready before the round will start. That's because a lot of the times you're going to be spending cash at the start of a round to customise. So you need 6 players to ready, then it will go into a 10-second countdown for the start of the round. And as you can see, you get a list of all the places you can spawn. So that's the spawn point, any of the vehicles or any of your squad mates. But here I'm going to jump onto a bike and try and get to one of the objectives as quickly as possible, or to overlook one of the objectives as quickly as possible, because I'm playing the professional, which is essentially the recon class. So the professionals essentially get sniper rifles and DMRs. So in this round I'm using the Sega 308, which is kind of a DMR. They're classed as semi-automatic sniper rifles. And what I'm holding in my hand is the camera. Now I haven't quite got the hang of the cameras, it's only got a range of 50 metres, so out here it's not going to do very much. Now the semi-automatic sniper rifles, as you can probably hear, don't have the wimpy pew pew that the DMRs have. They've got a big solid thump. So what I'm looking at down there is one of the trucks that's got the money in. And that is what the bad guys are going to try and blow open, steal the money from, and take it to either point A or B. Now it would be much easier for me to see what's going on down there if the levolution wasn't kicking off. So the train on this map is now coming down, and as you can see, if you're a sniper, the screen shake is awful. In fact, the screen shake is just awful anyway. I think it needs toning down quite a bit. But I can't really see what's going on, and you can't shoot through that shake. And it does go on for quite a while, certainly long enough for them to get in there and plant the explosives on the truck. So I've been trying to work out how to explain the heist mode in terms of Battlefield 4. And the start of the mode is essentially rush. So what you have is the 2 trucks are effectively MCOMs. So the bad guys have to run to the trucks, arm them, and then defend them while the bomb counts down. So effectively it's arming an MCOM and defending it until it explodes. But when it explodes, it then essentially turns into obliteration. So what happens is that the bags are exposed in the back of the vans, and they then have to be collected and taken to either point A or point B. So it is an interesting mode because it kind of mixes things up from Battlefield 4, and it's quite complicated to get the teamwork right, having enough people staying to defend one van while the bad guys are running the money from the other van. I really like it. In fact, I like it better than Blood Money, which is the other mode you can play at the moment. I also really like the professional class. Now as you can see, the pistol it comes with as standard is the Tech 9, and that is a automatic pistol. Now it doesn't fire as quickly as the Battlefield 4 automatic pistols, but it does feel a lot chunkier. So my loadout that I'm running as a professional is the Sega 308, which is semi-automatic. I've then got the Tech 9, which is a fully automatic pistol. I have the laser trip mine, which you can either put down on the ground and then the tripwire goes up vertically, so if anybody runs over it explodes, or you can put it on the wall and you'll get a horizontal tripwire. I've got the camera, which spots anything within 50 metres in front of it. As you can see, my laser trip mine that I put down by the van has just gone off. I've got the gas grenades. Now, gas grenades don't actually damage anyone. What they do is suppress them and really affect their vision unless they're wearing a gas mask. And for the melee weapon, I've got the knife. Now the knife isn't the standard melee weapon. Standard melee weapons are baseball bats or police batons, but you can buy the knife and it's very cheap. Now the progression in this game is also very different to Battlefield 4, and I'll do a video on that, but effectively you earn money and then you have to buy the add-ons. You don't get them for levels and you don't get them from unlocking. What you get is service stars, and then you can spend service stars and money to buy upgrades or to buy new weapons. It's a very interesting system and I'll do a video on it in the next couple of days. So while the underlying engine may be Battlefield 4, the advancement system and the weapons systems and the game modes are all different. So it's not just a reskinned Battlefield 4, it is a different game. As you can see on the screen, you get a lot of messages to tell you what is going on in the game. And you also get a lot of audio cues. So you get audio cues when a bomb has been planted to blow open a truck. You get an audio cue when they start running with the money. So the game really lets you know what's going on with the game modes. You don't have to just look at the screen and try and work out from above the mini-map what's going on. The game will actually tell you what's going on. Another way the game gives you more feedback is with the hit markers. So you have the standard white hit marker with most guns if you hit somebody in the arms, body and legs. But if you hit them in the head, you get a larger red hit marker. And if you're shooting at a vehicle, you get a little boxy icon which says you're damaging a vehicle. So it's quite good at feedback, this game. Either the game modes or the damage you've taken or the damage you're dealing, there's a lot more feedback from the game. And considering this is in a very early beta stage, the balance of the game is really good as well. So there doesn't appear to be an overpowered class or a massively underpowered class. Maybe the engineers, or mechanics as they're called in this game, aren't quite as good as they could be, but other than that, this game seems pretty good at the moment. So here you can see the little box that you get when you're shooting at a vehicle. So I'm trying to stop this car, and you see you get a little sort of boxy icon rather than a hit marker. So up until now I've been playing the professional as more of a sniper out in the open trying to take people out. Now the game's about to switch because I'm going to have to go into defence fully, and we're going to get a bit more close quarters, and you'll see that the professional isn't quite as vulnerable as the recon at this stage. Although I'm about to get killed by one of the armoured SUVs, and although they've got a minigun on that does a lot of damage, the gunner and the driver are vulnerable. So the gunner you can shoot from the front or behind because he's stuck out the top, and even though it's an armoured SUV, it's not a tank. You know, it's pretty easy to take out. So now I'm going to switch from sniper to close-in defence, and the gadgets really help you do this, although the camera doesn't always like going down on the floor for some reason, but eventually get it down. So with the Tech 9 you're not useless close up. Okay, you're not going to take out somebody in a one-on-one fight with an assault rifle, but the Tech 9 is pretty good close up. I was surprised. It does fire quite slowly, but it does seem to have a reasonable damage model. And I get another kill with a laser trip mine. So these things are really good for defending points, because you've got to look out for them a lot more. So as you can see, they don't have the massive spread of black lines that you used to get on the claymores in Battlefield 4. They are a lot more subtle, and you do have to look out for them. Somebody just ran straight into one of those that I've just put down. So with a camera to help spot, with the laser trip mines, with the gas grenades, you are quite a utilitarian even in close range. The Tech 9 isn't going to win you many gunfights, but it is going to help you to at least support your other teammates. So here I'm going to use the gas grenade, and you get quite a few audio and visual cues from the gas grenade. So I'm getting hit markers from the gas grenade, even though I don't think it actually does any damage, and you can hear the other players coughing. So you can throw a gas grenade into a stairwell and you'll get an audio cue if there's anybody there. Now if they're wearing gas masks, of course, it's not going to affect them. But anyone else in that stairwell is going to be suppressed and you're going to know they're there. So the gas grenade is a really useful little add-on to the game. So this rooftop does get quite congested, especially if this is the last point they need to get the money to. It's only got 2 entrances, they're both doorways, and they're quite easy to mine up and defend. Although it's not impossible to break out, because the attackers don't have to do anything but get the bag onto the roof and onto the top of that helipad. There's no waiting around. Once you've got that bag onto the helipad, it scores. Simple as that. And there are of course helicopters on this map, so you can try and get onto the roof that way. But at the moment we've got the bag in the open and we're capturing it. So what happens if the bag gets captured is effectively the attackers have to go and get another bag from the van and then try again. But they do only have a limited number of tickets, so the chances of that happening aren't great. But after playing it for a few hours, I think they've done a really good job on the Heist game mode. I think it's fun both for the attackers and the defenders. And as you can see, the attackers did make it onto the roof, but we'd already sent the money bag back. So as you can see now, the money bag is actually back at its start point. So there's no point in them being on the roof, they've got to go right back to the start and get the bag again. So in the Heist game mode, the way you attack and which points you go for first is really important, because on this map you don't want to be attacking B as your last point. And that's the first round of Hardline I've won. These game modes and maps aren't easy to work out, so it does take you a few hours to get into the swing of things. In Heist mode in particular, you have to play the objectives, otherwise your team's going to lose. So that's Heist mode defense as the professional, and next up should be Heist mode offense as the professional. Thanks for watching.